Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are discussing My Mother's a Witch. It's the latest film from director Niyi Akinmolayan and it stars Irele, Aigbe, Niyi Akinmolayan and a host of other faces that may be familiar or not familiar to many of you. And the beautiful thing about this story is that it's not set in Lagos. Nope. It's set in faraway Edo State and there's some parts of it at the beginning are set in the UK. So this is a refreshing breath of fresh air. For those of you who have been complaining that, why is everything set in Lekki, not just Lagos? You definitely want to see this. And this film was in cinemas a few months ago, and now it's in one of our streaming services. Now, My Mother is a Witch. Very peculiar title, I must say. When I first saw the trailer, when it was going to cinemas, I was like, bold choice of a title. And from the title, you can also infer what the story is about. Now, it follows this character, 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴, played by Irele. I'm sorry if I murdered that name. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Not just that, is it not an indigenous name? It's the first time I'm actually coming across this, but it's a very beautiful name nonetheless. 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴 is played by Irele, like I said. And she, when we start the story, we meet her in the UK. She's a grown-up, marvelous woman with money. I just go to infer that she has money because she does this very fancy job as an art director, I believe. So she receives this phone call from a doctor in faraway Nigeria, played by Timini, who tells her, "Hey, your mom is dead. Come and claim the body." He doesn't exactly say that, but that's just what the inference is. I can see from her countenance that these two, mother and daughter, did not have the best of relationship because, just look at her face. Yes, you can just tell from her look and from the thing she says to her best friend, this British lady. So, 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴 leaves the UK and comes all the way to Nigeria. And she's like, "Please, I don't have time for you village people." He doesn't say that, but you can infer it from her countenance. So, long story short, her mom is not dead. It was a fast one that they put on her for her to come back and get a last moment. Her mother is actually dying. At least that part is true. Her mother is actually dying. And then they just had to concord this thing so that 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴 will come back and have to face her mother one last time before she died. Now, you start to wonder, what could the mom have done that is so bad that 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴 will like, "You are dead to me," and mean it. To the point that when she is faced with the mom, when she's in the hospital talking to the doctor and the mom walks in, you can see how she leaps up as if she's seen a ghost. It's crazy. And I just start to wonder, what could the mom have done to this babe, And that's one of the things I think the film did right at the start. It makes you want to know. It's sort of, you start to think. I mean, every one of us came through a mom, and then you start to wonder, what could her mom have done to make this girl get to this point? Now, the story gives us flashbacks. Every now and then, try to fill in the dots. And this leads me to one of the things I did not like about the film, which I think is a very, very important thing that I personally could not look past. The way it chose to help us fill in that gap. Now, I would have liked the way it started to hang that mystery over our head if we had found a smarter way to infuse past and present as we set up questions, we are answering them and setting up new questions. That would have been great. Now, what this film did instead is to set up questions, or one question actually. That main question, what did the mom do? Is she an actual, technically it's two questions. Is she an actual witch, even though there's nothing supernatural we see up until that point. But it set up those two questions. But I personally did not like the way it went about answering them, because we had this long stretch. It felt like the film was going on and on forever. If you are so uncomfortable with this woman being alive in your presence, why not just leave? You came to bury her. She's not dead. Leave. The film did not do enough to justify why 𝐬𝐴 𝐬𝐴 kept hanging around. Kept going back and forth, not just with the doctor, whom I think was actually in his cast. I think Timini was not a good fit for this role. He personally couldn't bring the gravitas I would have wanted to see to match up, especially to match up with Irele's performance, which I thought was the cow one, but that's by the side. The story just did not do enough to want to keep me invested. Now, I was already invested because I wanted to know where this whole thing is going on, and if the mother is truly a witch or not, or if the mother is truly deserving of this hatred. And let's just say that by the time the answers start rolling, you find out that this is its core a story of motherly, daughterly love. Yes, that's just what it is. Like I mentioned already, we all came through a mother one way or the other, unless you fell from the sky. Or let me know in the comments if you're one of these exceptional cases. But we all came through a mom. And then there's a high chance that in the course of your relationship with your mother, that you guys have had to disagree over something. And turns out that's just what it is here. Now, for Imotinyo and her mother, it's about to be clashed over Imotinyo's choice of a lover. The mom is of the opinion that she was going to ruin her life, and that's where Niyi Akinmolayan's character came in. He was her love interest as a teenager. I think she was 19 when they started to slowly, and then the mom is like, you're going to waste your life with this guy. You need to go to the university, but there's no money. Okay, your dad is late. Let me talk to your uncle. Your uncle was like, I think the uncle asked the price too high. The mom wasn't going to pay it, unbeknownst to the girl. Then the girl started to leak with this guy played by Neo, and the mom was like, nah, that cannot work. And basically, it was just the mom's approach towards severing that, I'm going to call it illicit relationship, because the mom was not in support. So it's an illicit relationship. So that's basically it. So I think it's just one grand misunderstanding that one way or the other spiraled into something very great. Letting her to in, the mother was like, you're gonna lose the part. Mom did not even tell her, I didn't give her a choice. Reduced the abortion by giving her something to eat inside a drink, and the girl could not forgive the mom. He lost her one true love, and she grew up with this opinion that the mom ruined her life. And then it just gets you thinking, did her mom actually ruin her life, or did she save it? Because sometimes towards the end, when all is said and done, and the girl and mom, mother and daughter reconcile, you see your perfect character had grown up to be an Okada rider. I felt like that's the movie's way of telling us, see, your mom did not ruin your life, or your mom did not ruin your life, or and I thought that was fun. Because that guy could easily have been an oil magnate, or an inventor or something, and then what would happen? Case a bit. Would it be that the mom? I just thought that was just cute. Yeah, well, maybe they just wanted to give us a clean dot ending. But overall, I think Buddha a Witch is an interesting film. Yes, I think it is an interesting film. I think it tells a very human story, Nigerian story, even though I think this is very applicable to anybody. It is enjoyable. I just thought it could have been better in terms of how it was delivered. But there's also the chance that I'm projecting my own personal bias, and my personal opinion and thoughts. I don't think that's exactly the case, because there's a way the structure of this film would have been arranged, and it would have been way more engaging and unforgettable. But regardless, if you detach and you look at it like this whole thing from afar, like most Nigerians watch films, just look at the subject matter, look at the performances, I think you would give it more graces than it maybe deserves. But it is an enjoyable film nonetheless. So yeah, but let me know, have you seen My Mother is a Witch? Did you catch it in cinemas, or now that it's streaming? Let me know in the comments what you think about the film. Do you agree with my take? Do you think it could have been better? Do you think what we got was great? Whatever the case may be, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.